Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are in the world. I am just Mike. You are watching and you are listening to episode number 34 of the Rock Out Wild Show. Now, if you are new to this channel, if you're new to this video, and if you haven't done so yet, be sure to hit that subscribe button down below this very video. You can also like this video, comment under this video as well, and tell me what you think about this episode and previous episodes of the Rock Out Wild Show. Also, hit that share button as well and spread the word to everyone you know, from your family to your friends to your loved ones to your co-workers to your acquaintances. Tell everyone about the Rock Out Wild Show. I am your host once again, just Mike, and for the main event of this very episode, I am going to rank all of Hulk Hogan's WrestleMania matches from number 12 to number 1, from the worst to the best. Oh, brother. So that will be the main event of this very episode. And we're also going to take a look at on this day for August 20th in the world of professional wrestling, sports, music, film, and television. And to kick things off for episode number 34, I am going to react to an old movie review of mine, a movie called Into the Storm. So let's start out that webcam and shout out everyone to all of you watching this all around the world. So let's get this going. Let's see. Present. Share screen. Into the Storm. And let's go full screen with this. And let's react to this review in 3, 2, 1, action.
Well, at least the storm happened.
And that's the main thing.
Hey, what is up, all movie fans out there in the movieverse? Welcome to the Mike McRock Movie Review Show. Right now I'm going to talk about a movie, and it is called Into the Storm. And this movie is about storm trackers who chase down storms, and that's what they do for a living. There's also a couple of other people, these two idiot redneck drunk guys, who I thought were the highlights of this movie, because I thought they were funny, even though, yes, you can make the argument that they are very stereotypical, and I can understand that. But to me, these two guys, these two hillbilly guys in this movie, whoever they are, were the best actors in this movie, I thought, in my opinion. And that's not saying a whole lot, because everyone in this movie was just dull and boring.
Here we go.
Just like half of this movie was
Here we
dull and boring.
Yep.
The first, I don't know, maybe half of this movie, the first whatever divides 86, is just very bland. I just can't. I couldn't get invested into any of the characters in this movie, the acting in this movie. I really can't defend the acting because the acting was really bad. I couldn't get emotionally invested into their stories. This is one of those movies where you just don't expect a masterpiece of acting. This is one of those movies where you just watch for the storms. And that movie delivered on that aspect.
As Sean Chandler would call them, Taco Bell movies. The only difference is I never ate Taco Bell before, and this is probably bad fast food.
I thought that this movie did do its job in portraying really good CGI. Some, however, were not so good. I'll just give a couple examples. One, the hail. To me, the hail in this movie looked fake, and so did some of the funnels that happened in this movie. But the rest of it was actually pretty good, and this movie can get away with overuse of the storms because of the massive carnage behind it.
Right.
I like the after effects, what they've done after the storm. I like what they're doing as the storm was going on. You had buses, you had airplanes, you had everything but the kitchen sink. And when the shit went down in this movie, it went down good. I love
Good.
how this movie picked up when it was really boring in the first 30 or 40 minutes of this movie. That I did like. And that the only really redeeming quality of this movie is that this movie was only 86 minutes long.
Yeah, the
That's
pace.
it. Even the two hillbillies in this movie, I actually did like. I thought they were funny. They were actually entertaining in this movie.
I actually don't remember the two hillbillies in this movie at all. In fact, I don't remember anything in this movie.
And you might recognize some of these actors in this movie, from other TV shows like The Walking Dead, etc., etc. So this movie doesn't star nobody. It does star somebody. I actually did recognize someone, Nathan Kress, who was in a TV show called iCarly. That was
Oh,
on
yeah.
that was a series that just wrapped up. But like I said, this movie just didn't do much at all in the acting department. It didn't do much at all in the storytelling department. It really didn't do much with the writing as well. And even though
So pretty much it didn't do much, period.
I can't defend some of the acting in this movie, not everything was to blame with the actors. I think the writing of this
Yeah.
movie and the material that they had going for them
It's definitely the writing.
just didn't, it just completely fell flat. It didn't do anything for me at all. However, this movie had really good storms in this movie, and it had a good storm chasing in this movie.
Good.
Some of the
Good.
acting was hit and miss. Some parts were really bad, some parts were okay, some parts were good. So at least we got something out of this movie, but I gotta go low in the points value. So with that being said, this movie delivered
No.
54.5 points out of 100.
And I just noticed the text for the points is up. This is the first review on this very channel where I have the points on the screen. Look at that right there. 54.5 points out of 100.
And if you saw Into the Storm, what did you think about it? Feel free to comment in the comment section below and tell me what did you think about this Twister knockoff. As well, you can hit that
Just enough.
subscribe button down below
Mhm.
this video to get McRuts.
Yeah, Twister knockoff sounds about right. So that was my reaction to my old movie review for Into the Storm. The only thing I really remember about this movie is just the title of it. I don't remember anything else. Like the actors, forgettable. The story, forgettable. Uh, even the storms themselves, even though I was talking positively about them, I really don't remember the storms in this movie at all. I almost kind of confuse Into the Storm with Geostorm, which will be a few years later, but it's pretty much essentially the same movie altogether. So those are my thoughts and my reaction to my old movie review for Into the Storm. Now let's look at some of the things that happened on this day for August the 20th, 2025. So let's get this started. Let's kick things off with film and television. So let's see what we have here for August 20th on this day in history. In 1930, Dumont's first TV broadcast from home reception, New York City. In 1950, 11th Venice Film Festival. Justice is Done, directed by Andre Cayetti, wins the Golden Lion. In 1951, 12th Venice Film Festival, Rashomon, directed by Akira Kurosawa, wins the Golden Lion. In 1952, 13th Venice Film Festival, Genghis Khan, directed by Manuel Condi, wins the Golden Lion. Genghis Khan, holy crap. In 1953, 14th Venice 14th Venice Film Festival opens. No Golden Lion awarded. In 1961, the 22nd Venice Film Festival. Last year at Marienbad, directed by Alain Resines, wins Golden Lion. In 1997, Shelley Moore of Tennessee is crowned the 50th Miss Teen USA. In 2013, One Direction. This Is Us 3D concert film of One Direction, directed by Morgan Spurlock, premieres in London. And those are all the things that happened in film and television for August the 20th. Now let's take a look at what happened on this day in the world of music for August the 20th. On August 20th, 2016, the Tragically Hip played their final show together, months after announcing that frontman Gord Downie had terminal brain cancer. After releasing their 13th studio album, Man Machine Poem, the Canadian band chose to go out on a high note with a 15-day goodbye tour. While the final solo show took place at Kingston, Ontario's Rogers K-Rock Centre, now the Leon Centre, the concert was broadcast to more than 11.7 million people. Viewing events took place at locations around the country, including a public screening in Kingston, attended by approximately 22,000 fans. The concert was later released as the Tragically Hip, a national celebration. In 1988, Iron Maiden, Kiss, David Lee Roth, Megadeth, Guns N' Roses, and Halloween appeared at England's Monsters of Rock Festival at Castle Donington. Despite a bout of bad weather leading up to the event, Monsters of Rock attracted over 107,000 attendees. In 1965, Rolling Stones manager Andrew Loon Oldham launched an immediate records with Tony Calder. The label's first release was the McCoys, Hang On Sloopy. With their roster will go on to include titles from Rod Stewart, Small Faces, Fleetwood Mac, and Humble Pie. They ceased operations in 1970. In 1979, Bon Dylan released Slow Train Coming, his first album after converting to Christianity. Featuring songs about his newfound faith, the record alienated many of his longtime fans, while also drawing in new Christian fans. His single Gotta Serve Somebody earned a Grammy for Best Male Rock Vocal Performance in 1980. In 1965, Davy Jones and the lower third released You Got a Habit of Leaving, the first of two singles that David Bowie recorded with the band. Bowie, born Davis Jones, changed his name soon after to avoid confusion with Davy Jones of the Monkees, and the single would mark the last track released under his birth name. In 1983, the Police headlined John F. Kennedy Stadium in Philadelphia with support from Joan Jett and the Blackhearts. Madness and R.E.M., the Police opened with Synchronically I and playing 21 songs, including their future hit Every Breath You Take. Correct me if I didn't pronounce that synchronicity word at all. And I probably didn't again just then. In 2018, soul musician Eddie Willis passed away from polio complications at the age of 82. During the 1960s and early 70s, Willis played electric guitar and electric sitar for the Funk Brothers, Motown Records in-house studio band. Among the numerous songs he had appeared on was The Marvelettes, Please Mr. Postman, The Temptations, The Way You Do the Things You Do, and Stevie Wonder's I Was Made to Love Her. And here are some birthdays that happened in the world of music for August the 20th. Jerry Garcia from the Grateful Dead, born on this day in 1942. In 1959, Joe Elliott from Def Leppard celebrates his birthday today. In 1960, Chuck D. In 1963, Coolio. Born on August 20th, 1964, Adam Duritz from the Counting Crows. Born on 68, the guitarist Dan Dungan from Disturbed. And Ashley Parker from O-Town, born on this day, August 20th in 1981. And those are all the things that happened on that day of August 20th in the world of music. Now let's take a look at all the things that happened on this day in the world of sports, and I know there's plenty of them, so here we go. In 1888, in an epic first round of U.S. men's singles tennis match, Palmer Prisby takes 80 games to defeat T.S. Taylor, 19-21, 8-6, 6-1, 3-6, and 6-4. In 1900, Great Britain beats France by 158 runs in Paris, cricket's only appearance at an Olympic Games. In 1912, Washington Senators future Baseball Hall of Famer pitcher Walter Johnson wins AL record 15th straight, beating Cleveland Naps 4-2. In nightcap, Carl Cushin no hits, Naps 2-0 in 6 innings. In 1915, Chicago White Sox obtained shoeless Joe Jackson from Cleveland for Robert Roth, Larry Chappell, Eddie Kelfer, and $31,500. Jackson involved in Black Sox scandal in 1919. In 1919, speaking of, Wichita outfielder Joe Wilhoit in the Western League fails to get a hit, ending a 69-game streak. 155 hits in 299 at-bats for .505 average. In 1920, American Professional Football Association forms with Jim Thorpe as president. Later becomes the National Football League, the NFL. In 1921, U.S. National Championship Women's Tennis, Germantown, CCPA, Mala Bridget Mallory wins her 6th U.S. title, beats 3-time champion Mary Brown 4-6, 6-4, and 6-2. In 1922, first Women's World Games, first track and field competition for women, is conducted over one day at the Pershing Stadium in Paris. In 1930, a week before his 22nd birthday, Australian cricket's batting genius Don Bradman scores 232 in 5th Test win over England at the Oval in London. In 1931, U.S. National Championship Women's Tennis, Forest Hills, New York, Helen Wills Moody beats Helene Bennett Whittingstall of England 6-4, 6-1 for her 7th and final U.S. singles title. In 1934, Australian cricket opening batsman Bill Ponsford is dismissed for 266 games in his final Test match against England at the Oval, out for 22 in second innings. In 1938, New York Yankees future Baseball Hall of Fame first baseman Lou Gehrig hits record 23rd and final Grand Slam in 11-3 win over Philadelphia A's at Tribe Park. In 1944, PGA Championship Men's Golf, Magneto G and CC Bob Hamilton wins his only major title, one up in the 36-hole final over heavily favored Brian Nelson. In 1945, 17-year-old Dodgers utility Tommy Brown becomes the youngest player to hit a MLB home run in Brooklyn's 11-1 rout of Pittsburgh Pirates at Evans Field. In 1947, Boston Braves hit 1 million attendance for the first time. In 1948, 15th NFL Chicago All-Star Game, Shy Cars 28, All-Stars nothing. In 1949, 78,382 fans watched the White Sox play the Indians in Cleveland. In 1957, Chicago White Sox Bob Keegan no-hits Washington Senators 6-0. In 1958, Chicago Cubs used first baseman Dale Long as their first major league lefty catcher since 1906. In 1961, Philadelphia Phillies beats Milwaukee Braves 7-4 at County Stadium in losing streak with dubious MLB record of 23 straight losses. In 1964, New York Yankees player Phil Linz plays harmonica on a bus despite manager Yogi Berra's orders. I guess he didn't want him to play the harmonica at all. I mean, who doesn't want to play the harmonica? Come on. In 1965, Eddie Matthews and Hank Aaron from 1954 to 65 passed Babe Ruth and Lou Gehrig, hitting 772 home runs while playing together on the same team. That's impressive. In 1967, Alvin Dark is fired, rehired, and fired again as manager of MLB Kansas City A's by owner Charlie Finley. I gotta see that again. Fired, rehired, and fired again. That's a trifecta right there. In 1967, LPGA Western Open Women's Golf, Peking CC, Kathy Winworth wins by 7 strokes from Sandra Hayne. In 1974, Nolan Ryan pitch measured at a record 161.6 kilometers per hour, 100.4 miles per hour. In 1980, Cleveland Indians pitcher Dan Spillner, 5.45 ERA, is 2 outs from a no-hitter when Chicago White Sox rookie Leo Sutherland singles. Also in 1980, New York Yankee Bob Watson hits Seattle Kingdom Speaker second straight day. Also in 1980, Pittsburgh Pirate Omar Moreno pillages record 70 bases for a third consecutive season. In 1982, Don Lever becomes first captain of NHL New Jersey Devils. In 1985, first NL pitcher to strike out 200 plus in first 2 seasons, Dwight Gooden. In 1985, Met Dwight Gooden strikes out 16 on his way to his 13th consecutive win. In 1986, MLB Philadelphia Phillies Don Cameron perfect game bid is broken in 9th when he surrenders a lead-off double in 1-0 win over the Giants at Candlestick Park in San Francisco. And I left my heart there as well. In 1988, Yordenka Dunkova of Bulgaria sets women's world 100-meter hurdle record 12.21 in Stara Zagora, Bulgaria. In 1989, MLB New York Mets infielder Howard Johnson joins Barry Bonds and Willie Mays, hitting 30 home runs and stealing 30 bases in a season. In 1990, Gene Michael names New York Yankee VPGM replacing Harding Peterson. In 1990, George Steinbrenner steps down as New York Yankee owner. Also in 1990, New York Yankee Kevin Maas is quickest to reach 15 home runs, approximately 132 at-bats. In 1991, Dolphin Dan Marino surpasses Joe Montana as the highest-paid NFL player with a 5-year extension for $25 million. And then he went on to do Ace Ventura Pet Detective after that. Also in 1991, Norbert Rosa swims world record 100-meter breaststroke in 1:01.29. In 1993, Colin Jackson runs a world record 110-meter hurdle in 12.91 seconds. In 1994, Vuyana Bungu, the South African junior featherweight, wins the IBF World Boxing title. In 1995, British Open Women's Golf, Woburn Dukes course, Australian Kerry Webb scores a 6-stroke win over runner-up Annika Sorenstam and Jill McGill. In 1999, 7th Athletics World Championships open at Seville, Spain. In the year 2000, when we will make it up to you. PGA Championship Men's Golf Valhalla. Tiger Woods wins back-to-back PGA titles after a 3-hole playoff with Bob May, becoming the first to win 3 majors in a calendar year since Ben Hogan in 1953. In 2004, American swimmer Michael Phelps wraps up the 100 to 200 meter butterfly double at the Athens Olympics when he wins the 100 meter 51.25 OR ahead of teammate Ian Crocker. And also in 2004, Ethiopian runners Kenenisa Bekele and Salishi Singh go 1-2 in the 10,000 meter at the Athens Olympics. Correct me if I did not pronounce their names correctly. In 2006, PGA Championship Men's Golf, Mendia CC, Tiger Woods wins his 3rd PGA championship by 5 strokes from Sean McKill. In 2008, Russian long-distance swimmer Larsa Ichikio wins inaugural women's opener water marathon 10K in 1:59:27.7 at the Beijing Olympics. In 2008, Usain Bolt of Jamaica wraps up the 100 to 200 meter double in style with a new 200 meter world record, 19.30 at the Beijing Olympics. And usually I call him Insane Bolt. In 2009, 12th Athletics World Championships, Usain Bolt wins 200 meters. In 2011, Senior Players Championship Men's Golf, Westchester Fred Couples wins first 2 of Championship Tour major titles with birdie on 3rd playoff hole against John Cook. In 2012, South Africa become the top-ranked Test cricket nation after defeating England. In 2016, 4 women's high jump competitors tie at clearing winning high 1.97 meters at the Rio Olympics. All of them fail at 2.00 meters. Ruth Bieda of Spain wins the gold based on having no misses prior to the bar being raised to 2.00 meters. Also in 2016, Canosius Max Renditionschmidt and Marcus Gross, part of winning German crew in K4 of 100 meters at the Rio de Janeiro Olympics, wrap up K2 to K4, 1,000 meter double. And also in 2016, Chinese diver Chen Yizhen does the Olympic 10 meter platform double in Rio de Janeiro, having already won the synchronized event. He wins the individual gold by a comfortable margin. Also in 2016, controversial South African middle distance runner Cassier Semenya retains her Olympic women's 800 meter title in a time of 1:55.28 in the final in Rio de Janeiro. Also in 2016, German canoeist Sebastian Brendel teams with Jan Vandry to win the C2 1,000 meter at the Rio de Janeiro Olympics. Wrap up C1 to C2 1,000 meter double. In 2016 as well, in a blanket finish, American triathlete Gwen Jortson takes the Olympic gold medal at the Rio de Janeiro Games in 1:56.16, 0.40 ahead of Nicola Springhung of Switzerland and Great Britain's Vicky Holland by 45 seconds. Also in 2016, Rio de Janeiro Olympics team sports, China beats Serbia 3-1 for the women's indoor volleyball gold. In the men's water polo final, Serbia downs Croatia 11-7 for the first Olympic title. Another one for 2016 here. Oh my God. South Korean golfer Inbi Park wins the inaugural Olympic women's individual gold with a final score of 16 under par in Rio de Janeiro. Lyda Ko from New Zealand 11 under par, and Shan Feng, China, 10 under par. Also in 2016, star British runner Mo Farah wins the men's 5,000 meter in 13:03.30 at the Rio de Janeiro Olympics. Wraps up 5K to 10K double, which he also completed in London 2012. Also in 2016 again, the Hungarian crew wins canoe sprints K4 500 meters at the Rio de Janeiro Olympics. Danuta Kozak becomes the only female to win K1, K2, and K4 at the same Olympics. In 2017, Sohiem Cup Women's Golf Des Moines G&CC US retains Cup 16.5 to 11.5 down by 5. Europe can only have the singles 6-6. And in 2023, which still only a couple of years ago, FIFA Women's World Cup Finals, Stadium Australia, Sydney, Spanish captain Olga Carmona scores the only goal of the game as La Farina Roja score a 1-0 win over England. And those are all the things that happened in the world of sports for August the 20th. And for the final installment for On This Day, we are looking at professional wrestling for August 20th. As you see, there's a picture of Mick Foley. Looks like he's on top of either the Hell in the Cell or Bob Wire. Yeah, definitely on, like, close to the edge of the Hell in the Cell there. So what do we have in the world of wrestling? We got 1995 IWA Japan presented the Kawasaki Dream event in Kawasaki, Japan. The match featured the infamous King of the Deathmatch tournament. The final saw Cactus Jack defeat Terry Funk in no ropes, exploding barbed wire, exploding ring time bomb match. In 2001, Monday Night Raw played host to Austin Appreciation Night as the Alliance paid tribute to their leader, Stone Cold Steve Austin. The party was ruined when Kurt Angle drove a milk truck to ringside and dosed the group in dairy. In 2006, WWE SummerSlam took place at the TD Bank North Garden Arena in Boston, Mass. In the main event, Edge retained the WWE Champion over John Cena. Several one-of-a-kind matches took place at the event, such as Hulk Hogan, which I'll get to later on, versus Randy Orton, Big Show versus Sabu, Ric Flair versus Mick Foley and Triple H, and Shawn Michaels versus Vince and Shane McMahon. In 2010, Skandar Akbar passes away as a result of prostate cancer. In 2016, NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 2 takes place at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York. The event is headlined by a trio of sensational matches that showcase the very best of each NXT division. In the main event, Shinsuke Nakamura defeats Samoa Joe to become the first ever two-time NXT champion. Asuka successfully defends her NXT Women's title against Bayley, and the Revival, or should I say Tap Don't Tap, defend their tag team titles in a win over DIY. And in 2017, WWE SummerSlam goes down at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York. In the night's main event, Brock Lesnar defeats Samoa Joe, Braun Strowman, and Roman Reigns in a fatal four-way match to retain his WWE Universal Championship. Now let's take a look at some of the birthdays that happened in the world of professional wrestling for August 20th. We got Rip Morgan, born in 1957, Tori, born in 1967, Duke the Dumpster Droese, born on August 20th, 1968, Mikey Nicholas, born on this day in 1985, and Walter, now known as Gunther, born on this day, August 20th, in 1987. Those are all the things that happened in the world of professional wrestling for August the 20th. And now it is time for the main event of this very episode of the Rock Out Wild Show, and that is my ranking for every single Hulk Hogan WrestleMania match, from the worst to the best. What do I have at the very bottom? What do I have at the very top? And all the ones in between? Well, let's start this list off. Coming in at number 12 on the matches that involved Hulk Hogan at WrestleMania is a match against Sid Justice at WrestleMania 8. This was a match that main evented WrestleMania 8, and this match had no business main eventing WrestleMania 8 because Ric Flair and Macho Man deserved that spot a lot more. When it comes to this match here, Hulk Hogan and Sid Justice just did not have that chemistry. Sure, you look at big guy versus big guy, it's larger than life character versus larger than life character. But as a match, it just didn't work. It just didn't click. Hogan and Sid Justice were not the right dance partners for each other at all. The match was just bad. It was hopeless. And like I said, it had no business main eventing WrestleMania 8. Coming in at number 11 on this list is Hulk Hogan versus Yokozuna at WrestleMania 9 for the WWF World Heavyweight Championship. This also main evented WrestleMania 9, and this is coming off the heels of what was a pretty decent match involving Bret Hart and Yokozuna as what everyone thought what the main event was. And the match was going pretty well. You have Yokozuna defeat Bret Hart, and then all of a sudden, Hulk Hogan comes in, snatches the title from Yokozuna, and that's it. It only took a few seconds, and Hulk Hogan at this time was pretty much playing the master politician brother, where he would just come in, save the day. I guess Vince wanted the fans to go home happy, but that was not the right call to make. The right call to make was to have Bret Hart win this match, not the other way around, so that Hogan could come in and save the day at the last minute. That don't work for me, brother. So that's the reason why it's at number 11 on this list, is because this was just horrendous. Coming in at number 10, the Mega Maniacs. That would be Hulk Hogan and Brutus the Barber Beefcake versus Money Inc. at WrestleMania 9 for the WWF Tag Team titles. And this was a decent match. The only thing is that I think this match went on a little bit too long. There were parts in this match where it kind of did drag out a bit, which is why it's closer to the bottom of this list. But when I think about this match, I keep going back to that visual of that shiner that Hulk Hogan was supporting on his eye. It's like someone punched him earlier, and I have a feeling it might have been Macho Man Randy Savage. I mean, that's the one thing I noticed when I think about this match. Other than that, again, it's a decent match, but it has its slow parts, and that's pretty much all you need to know about that match. Coming in at number 9 on this list is Hulk Hogan versus Andre the Giant at WrestleMania 4 in a quarterfinal match tournament. Now, WrestleMania 4 is the only WrestleMania to have a tournament to determine who is the new WWF. That was too many W's. The WWF Championship. And so you had Macho Man defeat Ted DiBiase for the main event, but this was Hulk Hogan and Andre, the rematch from WrestleMania 3. The iconic one, which I'll get to in just a little bit here. But this match here, Hogan and Andre at WrestleMania 4, I don't mind the finish of this match because it was pretty much a double buy, a double whatever it was, counted or disqualification. And so that pretty much cancels them out. Now, this match didn't have the same magic as the predecessor from WrestleMania 3, but it was still an alright match. It's just a weird, wishy-washy ending. It It's alright, but it is what it is. Coming in at number 8, Hulk Hogan versus King Kong Bundy at WrestleMania 2 inside the Steel Cage match for the WWF World Championship. This match, to me, when I look back at it now, it's pretty much a standard Steel Cage match. It's an okay match at best. Better Steel Cage matches came after this. And this is a match that comes off a WrestleMania that's not very good. They were trying to do WrestleMania 2 at 3 different venues, and it just didn't click, which gave us this main event, this Steel Cage match with Hulk Hogan and King Kong Bundy. It was an alright match. And to me, the best match of the show as well. Coming in at number 7 on this list, the main event that started it all at WrestleMania 1, Hulk Hogan and Mr. T being accompanied by Jimmy Superfly Snuka versus Rowdy Piper and Paul Orndorff with Cowboy Bob Orton. This was the WrestleMania 1 main event, and to me, this match was a success. This was a good match. This is the match that WWF at the time needed to put on to show everyone that WrestleMania is here to stay, and they done just that. This was a risk, and a risk paid off very well. Coming in at number 6 on this list, Hulk Hogan versus Sergeant Slaughter at WrestleMania 7 for the WWF World Title. And this was babyface Hogan at the time facing off against heel Sergeant Slaughter, the Iraqi sympathizer. He was receiving all the death threats, the hate, all the evil shenanigans that the fans perpetrated on Sergeant Slaughter. And oh my god, this made for a pretty good and somewhat underrated WrestleMania match too as well. This was the main event for WrestleMania 7, and rightfully so. It deserved to be the main event. And I remember this being a pretty good match overall. Coming in at number 5 on this list is Hulk Hogan versus Macho Man Randy Savage at WrestleMania 5 for the WWF World Championship. This is coming off of the split involving these two. You get the whole thing with the mega powers coming together, and they're off doing their thing for a number of months, and then they split all over a woman, Miss Elizabeth. You know how it goes. It's jealousy. It's this, that, and everything else. And it made for a pretty good match, I might add. The only thing I would change would be the result. I wish that Macho Man would have beat Hulk Hogan here. I don't think Hogan needed to win this, but I would have loved to see Macho Man get his due and get that dub, get that win over Hogan at WrestleMania 5. Coming in at number 4 on this list, Hulk Hogan versus Vince McMahon at WrestleMania 19 in a street fight. This match was 20 years in the making, and this all paid off incredibly well. This match was brutal. This match had everything. You had Vince McMahon going off a ladder. Both of them were bleeding profusely. This was legit hardcore. And this was at a time when Hogan didn't need to wrestle, Vince didn't need to wrestle, but kudos to both of them for laying it all out there. And to me, this was the match at WrestleMania 19, a show that had a lot of really good to great matches. And this was the standout out of all of them. Again, it's 20 years built up pent-up frustration between Hogan and Vince. And then Rowdy Piper comes in and hits Hogan and not Vince. I wish he would have hit Vince too as well, just to make it even. My only nitpick with that. But everything else, I absolutely love this match to death. That's why it's as high as it is at number 4 on this list. Coming in at number 3, Hulk Hogan versus Andre the Giant at WrestleMania 3 for the WWF World Heavyweight Championship. To me, this is this match defined what the blockbuster match is. This match invented the word blockbuster. This match pretty much is essentially the first blockbuster match at any WrestleMania. And the best thing about this match is that this is for the moments. You get that big body slam heard around the world from Hogan body slamming Andre. He drops the leg and he pins him 1, 2, 3. It's the passing of the torch from Andre, who has been at it for an incredibly long time, and now he is passing the torch to Hulk Hogan. Really, this match was everything for Hogan. And even though this was not a technical masterpiece by any stretch, Andre's health was in no good. He was in no good condition at all. But kudos to Andre for laying it all out there and giving the rub to Hulk Hogan, brother. Coming in the runner-up position at number 2 on this list, Hulk Hogan versus the Ultimate Warrior at WrestleMania 6. Winner take all for the WWF Intercontinental title and the WWF World Heavyweight Championship as well. This was two larger-than-life guys colliding in the best way possible. Hogan did justice at WrestleMania 8 was the worst case possible, but this, Hogan and Warrior, was the best thing to happen for WrestleMania 6 in Toronto, Ontario, I might add. The first WrestleMania to be held in Toronto, which is a big plus. And Adam Copeland was in the crowd for this. And to me, the best thing about Hogan and Warrior at WrestleMania 6 is that you get that visual of the Ultimate Warrior pinning Hulk Hogan at the count of 3.5. Yeah, Hogan kicked out after the count of 3, but besides the point, Hogan somewhat passed the torch to Warrior, and that was pretty much it. The follow-up to Warrior's title reign wasn't all that great looking back at it, but in that moment of Warrior winning the title against Hogan, you could tell that moment felt real. It felt genuine for the Warrior. And even though both of them are very polarizing figures, those two put out a good match at WrestleMania 6. But there's only one WrestleMania that's on this list who what I would consider the best match involving Hulk Hogan. And that is his match with The Rock at WrestleMania 18. Oh my God, what a match that was. It's Hulk Hogan. You have Vince. So here's the story here. You have Vince McMahon, and he wants to spread disease to the WWE or WWF at the time. And he wants to bring in the NWO, the original 3 members. Hulk Hogan, Scott Hall, Kevin Nash. And they return, and you get that promo segment where you have Hulk Hogan in the ring with The Rock, and The Rock challenges Hulk Hogan for a match at WrestleMania 18. What a spine-chilling, bone-chilling moment those two had face-to-face in that promo segment. I mean, the build-up to this match was absolutely incredible, and the result was even more incredible. Again, it was in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. The last time they were at WrestleMania altogether. This match delivered on all fronts. What really made this match work, you guessed it, it's the crowd reaction. When Hulk Hogan done this whole hulking up and all that sorts of stuff, just listen to the crowd reaction just from that alone. It's outstanding. You will not see a match like this where the crowd noise is just constant. Sure, there's chance of Hogan and booing The Rock turning Rock into a heel during this match. Sure, there's chants throughout, but it was the constant noise from the crowd that made this match magical. That's exactly what this match was. It was magical. Not only this is Hulk Hogan's best WrestleMania match, not only is this The Rock's best WrestleMania match, in my opinion, as well, but this is one of the best wrestling matches of WrestleMania of all time. Sure, it's not, hypothetically, take the crowd away from this match. It's a decent match anyway, but when you have that crowd reaction in there, that just elevates it to a whole different level, brother. And that is why Hulk Hogan and The Rock is my number one favorite WrestleMania match by Hulk Hogan. And that was your main event for episode 34 of the Rock on Wald Show. And this has been episode 34 of the Rock on Wald Show. I'm going to leave you all with a quote, and it goes something like this. You are a shining beacon of strength and guidance for the little ones who look up to you. Your actions, words, and choices shape their view of the world and influences their own behaviors. Your kindness, integrity, and preservedness serve as a roadmap to them to navigate through life's twists and turns. By setting a good example, you are instilling in them the values of compassion, resilience, and honesty. Remember, the way you live your life is a profound lesson in itself, teaching them what it means to be a compassionate and responsible individual. Your impact on them is immeasurable and will leave a lasting legacy of love and positivity. I am your host, Just Mike, and this has been episode number 34 of The Rock Out Wild Show. And on a final note to all of you watching this episode all around the world, get plenty of rest and always do your best.